we interrupt your programming to bring the real deal on life. My name is Wendy. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Today we're making vegetable, vegetarian, vegan, whatever you want to call it. We're making a healthy soup, immune boosting, with all kinds of ingredients that you might know about and some that might be a little new to you. So I also want to introduce a special guest that has requested to join us. Once again, my special assistant. He comes all the way from his bedroom. His name is Dempsey Giuliano. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Dempsey is going to be assisting me in making our soup today. So, without further ado, let's make soup. Let's make vegetable soup, all right? So, soup. A lot of the angle is going to be from here so that you can see what I'm putting in the pot. So let's put some heat on here. This is our pot. We got some heat going in, so we're gonna start by adding a couple tablespoons of olive oil. So we're gonna do one big glob again. All right, perfect. So we're gonna let that get hot. And as that gets hot, I'm going to start explaining what we're gonna do. So these are three carrots I chopped up right here. I peeled them and I chopped them. And these are parsnips. Now, if you've never had parsnips, they're, once my husband was like, what carrots are these? They're white and they're delicious. They're not carrots, they look just like carrots. They taste sweeter, almost licorice-y, I would say. Not licorice, but it's definitely got a sweeter, different taste than carrots. They're delicious. Let it get nice and screaming hot so that when we throw the parsnips and the carrots in there, it's gonna brown them up kind of nice. And it really starts to layer the flavor. So the first thing I like to do is brown these puppies. You find out if it's ready, you take one little tiny.
Oh, it's always smoking.
I know, why is this not? Oh, there we go. There we go. Take one tiny one, throw it in there. No, it's not sizzling. It's not ready yet.
If you didn't see our other video, we did doing a review on some
so delicious ice cream.
And there's like some blue and
I think it's starting to get ready. What do you think?
Oh, it's ready.
It's ready? Ready? I think we're getting there. Let's slowly. All right. I hear it. It sounds like a party, huh? Here, just kind of take those out. There you go. Now, we got two parsnips here. They were really large parsnips. If they're smaller, you can do just one or two. I mean, three if they're smaller. But if they're large, you'll want to do just two because these are some honking ones. So we want these to brown. So we're not going to keep moving them around. We're just going to kind of even them out.
Just like pancakes, you let them brown.
Yes, just like that. So we're gonna let them sit for a minute. We're not gonna touch them. I had it on screaming hot high, but we're gonna turn it down to medium high because I don't want them to burn. I just want them to brown. Let's see, I think these guys might be, oh look, are they getting a little color?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. So I'm gonna stir them because we don't want this to pop you. Step back a little bit, please. So once you start to see them browning a little bit, we're not trying to cook them through. We're just trying to give them a little color, a little brown. Brown is better. So you want to just give them a little pop, pop, pop. All right. Some parsnips and some carrots. Ooh, it smells like, ooh, brown. Smells good. All right. We're going to get our bowl ready to take them back out. And we're not going to take them out yet. We're gonna get everything ready. It's not cabbage, it's a Brussels sprout. We have about 1.5 cups of Brussels sprouts. I cut them in half or I quartered them if they were really, really big. And about 3 to 4 stalks of celery here. They were a little bit small, so I did 4. If they were nice and big, I would have done 3. All right, everything looks to be getting brown here. So time for you guys, I think, to get out of the hot tub in a minute. So now I'm just gonna start removing these puppies and making room for the Brussels. Also, since you're already kind of cooking the parsnips and the carrots a little bit, it helps with the cooking process. So you're cutting down the cooking process on the root vegetables just because you are taking that time to brown them. And this little chick from drumming.
And I'm back.
I used to really enjoy, I don't watch a whole lot of TV anymore, but when I did, I really, really enjoyed her show on Food Network.
I see.
Wow, it's been so long I can't even think about the show.
I see you took them out, Mom.
I did. I removed.
Yes, indeed. She took them out.
I did. I removed them. All right. So now we still got this. It's screaming hot. We got the bit of the head start. We're keeping it hot. Yep. Now we're gonna add just a little bit more oil because some of it's gotten absorbed into just a smidge so that everything doesn't stick. All right. Now I'm gonna ask Dempsey. Dempsey, can you pass me the Brussels sprouts and the celery, please? Or you wanna, here, let's do it like this. Go ahead, pour, forward.
Let's see what it looks like.
All right, so these are looking pretty nice and brown, eh? Like I said, it's cutting down some of the cooking time. I know it seems like an extra step. It's for a reason. Sometimes the good things take a little while. All right. All right, so we're gonna do the onions. I've cut up about one big onion here. I put this in the chopper, made it nice and fine. So once we remove these, we're gonna put the onions, we're gonna do the onions, we're gonna do the peppers. I've got a whole pepper there, red and orange. I cut half of each. And then we're gonna put some garlic. I'm gonna crush it right up in there. So let's take them out. The garlic, you don't want to keep it in there for too long, so I always let everything brown first. So you put the garlic in along with everything else. Garlic has a tendency of burning. So I let everything kind of do its thing first. The garlic, you really only put it in last couple seconds. Once you start to smell it, then you kind of like deglaze the pot with a little bit of broth, some stock, some water, whichever one you're choosing. Just kind of mix it around. Is that looking good or is that looking good? Can you guys see that? Are you guys seeing that? All right, there we go. Getting in all the aromas. So I can smell the garlic. Everything looks good. I'm adding back in my parsnips and my carrots. Adding back in my celery and my Brussels sprouts. And at this point, we're gonna start to deglaze. I like to use Stop and Shop's organic vegetable stock. If you can see it. I like to use this one. I just use 2 of them because since this is kind of a quick soup, it's not a long simmering. It just helps me out a little bit. If not, I would make my own vegetable broth. Or stock, but today we're using this kind. I got all quiet. That's how you know it's time to simmer. We're gonna keep the heat on medium high. This is called yucca root. So you can use potato. I like to use yucca. It's something that they use a lot in the islands cooking. So I'm Puerto Rican, so we use it in our cuisine a lot. It's got a different flavor. It's a root vegetable. Looks like this. You peel it, chop it up, and it looks like this. I got mine from Stop and Shop, so depending on where you live with the population, they should have it. But potatoes works just fine too. So I'm gonna put those in there. I have yellow and green split peas. They're dried, but they're so small that they're gonna cook really quickly in the pot. So I have a half a cup of each.
That was a nice break.
Nice break. You're gonna pour in the next. Are you gonna pour in the next?
A nice lunch break.
a nice lunch break. So are you gonna pour in the next ingredient for us? The next ingredient is the garbanzo beans over there.
Oh, the garbanzo beans.
Also known as chickpeas. So go ahead and pour them in. Don't just pop them in, but do it gently so that you don't get splashed. Go ahead. Go ahead. There you go. So, this is a hearty soup, as you can already tell. There's a lot of good stuff going in here. We're gonna add some water to this. Because I like a really brothy soup. I usually serve some rice alongside of it, or some noodles, just because sometimes the noodles or the rice, if you put it inside of the soup, it tends to suck up all the broth. And I'm a saucy gal, I like the broth. So now we're gonna put in some seasonings while this is going. Now, oh, sorry. First, I'm gonna say this is about.
While this is happening, make sure to slap your hands on the like button. Make sure to hit that notification bell and make sure to subscribe to all the videos. We need it.
We do. This is cilantro. I love cilantro in my soup. Again, I'm Puerto Rican, so we use cilantro like in everything. I think there's a mask, a cilantro mask for the face. No, I'm just joking. But really, I should look that up. But this is a very specific flavor. Some people like it, some people don't. I found when you cook it, it has a totally different flavor, and sometimes people that thought they wouldn't like it don't realize it, but it is a very specific flavor. So I would start off with maybe a tablespoon instead of as much as I just added. I really, really like it, and my family doesn't complain, so I haven't changed it, but that's the cilantro. And as soon as you add the cilantro, it just starts to give this aromatic flavor. Now, we've got some ginger root and turmeric root. This is what makes this soup the goods. I'm gonna take it, and if you can see my chopper all the way over here, actually I'm gonna do it right here. Woo. I'm gonna chop it right here.
Can I?
It's really difficult. You gotta give it a slap. Hang on, let's not do it on the glass. Go ahead, give it a hard chop. The turmeric and the ginger, this is what makes this soup super, super immune boosting. The turmeric gives it a color, that deep color. The garlic also is the ginger.
Oh my God, it smells like
ginger
cabbage.
and turmeric. The ginger and the turmeric, not only is it give it good color, the turmeric, but it also just gives it
it smells so
it's so good for your thank you. You okay? It's so good for your immune system. Ginger is a good antibacterial, and the turmeric is huge for anti-inflammatory agents. So that is the soup. We're gonna put some seasonings in, like I said right now. I like to add these. You can add seasonings as you like, but these are the ones that I personally add. So this is a little bit of coriander, and I mean, if you've cooked a lot, I like to use the palm of my hand. I mean, it's your hands are your best tools. So I would say it's like a tablespoon. And once you do it enough, you kind of know where the tablespoon fits within your hand. Obviously, don't do this with baking because baking is more specific. Sure, come over to the side. So that was a little bit of ground coriander, which if you don't know what coriander is, it's actually just cilantro seed, but it tastes totally different. It's got a very lemony almost taste. So I'm gonna use Dempsey's little palm, and that's about a tablespoon, I would say, of some ground cumin. And then we're gonna do with also the same technique, some curry. You want a little curry? Nope, just need 1 pump. This is a measuring cup. Okay, so we're gonna do about a tablespoon. Pop it in. Alrighty. And you know what happens when you sprinkle it in like that. You add a little love. You add a little love. Now this one, you just kind of do a 1, 2, 3. That's a little bit of garlic powder. We already added garlic, but the garlic powder adds, here, you can sprinkle this in. The garlic powder adds a different, like that. The garlic powder adds a different, since it is dried, when you put the powder inside of the liquid, it reconstitutes, therefore imparting a different flavor within the broth. And the same thing with the onions. We have fresh onions in there, but again, with the dried onion, it is a workout. With the dried onion, you get the reconstitution in the water or the broth, and it gives a different complexity of flavor.
I just noticed the white stuff of it is like dropping down.
Yes, it's gonna sink into the water and it's gonna reconstitute and absorb. This is the salt, and I like to use a little pink Himalayan, just for it, because one, it's delicious. It's
like
so much more flavorful than
like a pineapple.
Not exactly. Go ahead, put like 2, 1, and then 2, and then we can flavor as we go along. But it's a big old pot of soup, so we do need to give it some flavor. And then we're just gonna let it simmer. There you go. There you go. So we're just gonna let it simmer for a while, and we'll be back to check on you guys in a minute. Alrighty?
Yeah, we popping out of that, popping out of here.
All right, so I've got a little bit of rice going over here, just because sometimes you want a little something starchy to get inside of that soup. So as you can see, everything, it's been 30 minutes. Everything's fallen apart, just as it should. Not too crazy, but everything's nice and soft, and it tastes delicious.
Remember, Mom, I am your taste tester.
The taste tester. All right.
I'm your taste tester.
You ready? Come here.
Mom?
Yeah, I'm gonna get it so that it's the perfect temperature. Have you ever made a soup before?
Yeah.
Yeah, what kind?
That is amazing!
Yes, I love it. It's amazing. We got the approval of the kids. So let's do our outro. Thank you for watching.
Make sure to slap those big booty hands on that like button. Make sure to subscribe. And if you're new, welcome back.
Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, stay beautiful, stay kind, and let your big flags fly. Bye.